What's going on, everybody? This is Nick from House of Paint 203, bringing you the third and final part of the Gray Slaad Death Slaad series here this week on the House of Paint channel. We have pretty much done all the steps thus far: base coating, washing, midtones. Today, all that's left is to apply some final highlights on these guys, bring out some smaller details such as eyes and teeth, and of course cover up those bases. So we still have a lot of stuff to do. Let's jump right in. As always, want to give a special shout out to friend of the show, Dominic Marriott, owner and founder of Crit UK, all the way across the pond in the UK. Dominic is a crafter of dice trays, dice vaults, dice boxes, dice towers, you name it, Dominic makes it, and you got to check out his stuff so that you can up your game at your gaming table today. Also, while you're here, be sure to smite like and slam subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all the latest content that I am putting out there in my quest to paint the manual. And today we are looking to finish up 2 of the 5 Slaads featured in the monster manual, the Gray Slaad and the Death Slaad, both of whom go hand in hand, as the Gray Slaad are the servants, technically, of the Death Slaads. So it's fitting that they should come in the same blister pack here. Pretty small models, but a lot of fun to work on thus far. Gonna set the table up and go for it. So the first thing that I'd like to do for the Gray Slaad is I'm going to bring out those these final highlights on him, and I want to do a mixture of the heavy blue-gray, which I've been using as his base and part of his mid-tone. And I'm going to be mixing that with a Stonewall gray. So I'm gonna look to bring this up to kind of a pale gray here. Just get a nice mixture in the palette. That is a little too light for my liking here, so I'm actually gonna it is lighter than I would have liked. See how that dries, I think. Let me try just like a pure heavy blue gray. Let's see what we got here. This is a little watered down. Looking okay, I suppose. Is a little watery. That might actually help out in the long run, though. just kind of grazing the upper areas. I do want to leave that detail. There are some wrinkles. He has kind of like pruny flesh. As he is an amphibious creature. So his flesh is certainly a little pruny. Yeah, just kind of stippling on the heavy blue-gray here. First coat was pretty heavily diluted. Kind of like that, just kind of picking out the raised areas here. Side of the brush kind of getting these flaps and wrinkles. Tops of the feet. Get the hands just a little bit. good for now. I think I may just go in on his base here, get a base coat on the base so that it can at least have some time to dry. I'm just gonna do what I can. Very small base, so I'm sticking to my number 2 brush. Being careful around the feet. Some tricky little nooks and crannies down here. Okay, so I'm gonna put him off to the side for now. Or maybe I'll just give him, maybe I'll start his eye before I truly set him aside for a little while. Very, very small eyes. Screwed that one up. Will he screw this one up too? A little bit. I just have to go under with my heavy blue gray. Really just on the upper portion of the jawbones where I spilled some. Alright, so now I'll put him off to the side. Alright, now we'll go to the Death Slaad. So the Death Slaad is much darker than the Death Slaad is much darker in the book than the Gray Slaad. So I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna do some experimenting because I'm never quite sure how dry brushes are gonna coalesce on the model, so I'm gonna try a heavy blue-gray on him as well, just to see. I really want it to be subtle, so I'm gonna make sure I have almost all of it off, which is the idea for any dry brush that you do, but in this case, really gonna, I don't want to play with fire here, so let me see. I'm gonna find that. I actually like that a lot. Doing a nice job of bringing out the folds of his face here. Now the question is, I'm not sure if I want to deeper with the heavy blue-gray. He also does have some brown flecks on him too, so let me see if I can do the same thing here with like a heavy sienna, or maybe even like an we took brown. Oh. I actually like the kind of the brownish undertones here. His eyes are like I might do the same thing on his eyes. I might do orange over his eyeballs as well, at least for a base. I think I'm gonna go in on his spikes here with a final highlight. I'm gonna go Stonewall Gray, which is a lighter gray. I'm gonna try to go subtle, so pretty cool. And he's gone. Do the same thing on his base. Thought about bringing out some more color on the Death Slaad, so I mixed a little heavy blue-gray with some black just to bring out some of the more prominent raised areas. I'm actually like not minding it. I had a great dry brush, which I'm gonna be leaving. All right, sorry for jumping, but I've finished that kind of subtle applied highlight on the Death Slaad with the heavy blue-gray black mix, and I also very, very lightly grazed over his belly here and his legs to make it look like he's kind of been slipping around through the mud a little bit there. And I actually glued him down to his base. Glued him down to one of the edges of the base, or one of the curves or the rim of the base, I should say, to leave a little bit of space up front so that I could put some environmental effects on him. As for the gray Slaad, I went over his flippers here with, not flippers, but his webbing with a purple ink, and I blended that up into a pretty much the same mix that I used on the gray Slaad highlight right there. So tried to get those to bleed into each other like they did in the Monster Manual. And kind of underneath his arms there, if you can see that all right. I also gave him a green wash on the base there, as did the as I did the gray Slaad, just to make them seem like they are kind of standing in the swamp. So right now I'm going to glue the gray Slaad down to his base. While that is drying there, I'm going to go into the Death Slaad. We're going to check out his base. Since I do want him to kind of look like he is trudging through the swamp. I have a couple little environmental effects here that I do want to use. Namely, I have a swamp tuft. So I actually might just use this and call it a day. Let's see what this looks like here. So yeah, we do have that. Might do the same thing on the gray. Relatively dry or glued to his base now, so I'll put him there. All right, that'll wrap things up here for the Death Slaad, Gray Slaad combo. That was a lot of fun on my first simultaneous paint. But I'm happy with the way that they came out. I did want them to be, I did want them to vary from each other, and I felt like we achieved that with both creatures here. So information on how to follow me is immediately following the video, as is information on how to follow Dominic Maria of Credit UK. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.